So I ran across this last night. This guy, welcome to his channel. I stumbled upon flat Earth about 7 years ago. Was looking for the origins of yin and yang sign, this and that, and everything. Um, so he decided he's dumber than a flat earther, and he's going to be a concave cup guy. So we live in a cup. I'm all like, oh Jesus Christ, this guy's got us living in a cup. That's some funny shit. He's all like, here's how you make a fucking world map. I'm all like, oh Jesus. So he's watching this one in Stellarium, and he's convinced we're sitting still, and he's wondering why the stars are moving faster than the planets. And I'm all like, man, this and the east and west things got him confused. Jesus Christ, some people just need to get out of their mom's basement. But what tickled me is he's a fan of this guy. And he goes on. He's constructing a bowl Earth map to scale. And homeboy's all like, oh God, it's a conundrum. We don't know what shape it is. Lee doesn't know what shape the planet is, but he wants to come over here and be some kind of authority about the sun being up or fucking anything. Anything. If you don't even understand what the fuck the shape of the planet is, I mean, with empirical fucking evidence all around you, we live on a globe. The Roman lie lives, and this guy is exaggerating it on steroids. But the funny thing is, we'll catch. Wait a minute, your line of thinking is interesting, and I like it because we got Gregory over here. I liked your video about the shape of Earth. It seems logical, and it's more oval than round. And fucking Lee comes in here, fucking having never been that far enough. I have no idea what's going on. I'm an idiot. And I'm all like, Jesus Christ, man. Your line of thinking is interesting. So now Lee's interested in the cup Earth. And it's great because this guy's like, you are our leader, mate. God is the life force. And he goes on about Jedi shit. I'm all like, oh, God, Lee. This is how somebody can be swayed because he swore he wasn't a flat earther. I mean, in writing, it's like, I'm not a flat earther. And I'm like, okay. So now he's a cupper. He's a cupper because this guy and Gregory over here is stroking his ego. See how easily one can be swayed? So in life, I've discovered the horizon works great. Mosquitoes can't fly 90 mile an hour, and if they were right about air traffic east and west, then that mosquito would be smacked right into the back of my fucking windshield when he took off from my neck from biting me, instead of having a real easy time flying all around the car, biting everybody while we're doing 90 down the freeway. So that magnetosphere kind of keeps our environment nice and protected, like a window in a car.
Rotating sphere of water, about 20.
Rotating sphere in microgravity of water.
5 millimeters in diameter. And inside the sphere are a whole bunch of little tiny air bubbles. And we will see what the angular acceleration due to rotation does to these air bubbles as a function of time. What you're observing are the bubbles moving to the center axis of rotation.
Isn't that nifty?
As a function of time, they will form this rather tightly packed bubble core. These bubbles are kept from coalescing from a small amount of added surfactant.
Coalescing means they're kept from becoming one bubble, one tube inside that rotating sphere of water.
To the water. Here we have a rotating sphere filled with bubbles and tea leaves, and as expected, the bubbles go to the center and the tea leaves go to the outside
edge. That looks kind of like Earth.
Along with a few chunks of orange peel.
Maybe not the exact content. I'm not saying we got that much water, but that's a working fucking model, and it sure as hell doesn't look like a Frisbee or a cup. However, I had to accept that we're probably hollow because this is a working model. I thought Admiral Byrd was absolutely fucking nuts. Kind of like everybody listening to me thinks I'm absolutely nuts until they open their eyes and look at some working models and look at their sky and look at what's going on. I don't sound so crazy. Neither does Admiral Byrd to me anymore.
Here we have a rotating sphere with bubbles and chunks from breaking up a small vitamin tablet. And the bubbles go to the center core, but the vitamin chunks seem to stay in their location dispersed through the sphere. And from this, we deduced that the vitamin chunks have a density near that of water.
Yeah, that's a good deduction. See, he ain't no dummy. Now I'll be damned if that ain't a working model through fucking Earth. Period. This is a video I've brought up several times. When a magnet has water around it, see that guy? That's the Thora Apophis. Ken Wheeler is his real name. He is much more intelligent than this scientifically speaking dude. It will create a egg-shaped void in the frozen water. Again, it collects the matter, dumps some water, the fucking water on out freezes, causes the egg shape. Along with the water comes the rocks and the iron and the dust and everything else, which coalesces, gets compacted over time, and leaves a void inside the planet where the magnet is.
There you go. I got one for you. In a few videos, I performed this experiment.
This is an old video, folks. I've shown this before.
Using different configurations, I use both structured water.
Why am I showing this? Just to correlate that Lee hates Thora Apophis. Because Thora won't allow Lee to steal his fucking information. That he's written several books about magnetism. He has ferrocells too. I was watching him forever, and then John come up talking about the four winds and how he understood how to read. So of course I could read this with the impact wave. Master Lee there calls it the halo wave because he steals things from physics and renames them after the Christ. And then the centripetal and centrifugal, the push and pull of the magnet. I saw this, and the four poles, etc. So I asked John, what do you see? Before I wrote it down, he drew this. And I was like, where'd you get that? He says, Scientific Lee. I said, well, we got to send everybody to Scientific Lee so they understand how to read our ancient language, because he draws a couple of pictures over here. And from day one, I was like, his physics suck. He has no idea what he's fucking looking at. But his ferrocells and his drawings are cute, and they appear to be physics. I don't care what he calls them, but it associates this with not pretty, but schematic. How do you drive this plane? How do you make it work? And then we provided several working models with poof, and Lee started being a bitch. And I made a recording telling everybody, go to Scientific Lee. You'll see everything I'm talking about. And he has stop motioned this to make it look like I learned everything from Lee. I didn't learn dick from Lee. Ever. I have always claimed that this man is fucking insane. But he's got a couple of neat drawings. And I very specifically mentioned this video, the motion of everything, a field defined. Now, he took it down and several others. We called him out on it, and then he added some back. There's still not 180 videos to this playlist, and there used to be. However, I would still suggest, honestly, watching this video if you're having an issue looking at these hieroglyphs and having an issue understanding what you're looking at. Because he's going to take you through here and draw you a couple of pictures. Now, as I've said, and you can see some of these scrawlings that he has are just the insanity of a double helix when there is three. But here's your halo. That's your impact wave. There's your halo wave, your impact wave from energy hitting matter. Boom. I don't care what you call it. It's the same thing that's on the wing of that plane. That is the only reason I've sent 10,000 fucking people over to Lee's page. Now he'll be like, oh, they never 10,000 nothing. 10,000 views. And all the rest of his videos have very few views. 172 in a whole day. That I am not bragging, I'm just stating a fact that I get this many every hour. Because I am going to show you verifiable fact, not woo, and then point at somebody pointing out fact that you can see with your own eyes as woo. This motherfucker is an antifreeze salesman, and he's trying to convince you that an EM signature, electromagnetic field, is not a lens flare. It is not Jesus on toast. It is empirical evidence in a court of law. So this is his mentality to begin with. He is Jesus on toast. And boy, does that motherfucker invoke the name of Christ. And he gets the most insane people, like, that cup dude fucking on his channel, clapping him on and stroking his ego. And he thinks he's doing some good over here. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Woo! Now, every day I'll get somebody talking about how I need to leave Lee alone and this and that and other thing. Well, as a result of arguing with this fucking obvious liar and worker of darkness, I will type in his stupid words into a search bar and come up with verification that, yeah, as a matter of fact, human beings can fucking manipulate electromagnetic spectrum via fields projected from human hands, like I've been showing forever. So for about a year and a half, I've been actually trying to use my manipulative powers over here with my field, to the point that I've had cowls over this thing and all kinds of stuff blocking me and the wind and everything from it. And it's gotten to the point that I can actually make the water move inside the bottle without making the bottle move, which I was having problems. The bottle was rolling around all over the place because of my electrostatic attraction. Well, a little bit of relaxation and concentration, you can move the water. Why? Because it's an electromagnetic field. Every atom around you in the existence of the universe has an electromagnetic field at the very center of it called a muon that is operating on the EM field at 1748 hertz, because without vibration you can't have coalition of fucking matter. Won't coalesce without vibration. I can't say it backwards. I'm probably going to get in here with a close-up, and as soon as I start moving my fingers, my field, the water reacts. And yes, I have a little glitter in here, so you can see this in my mouth. The camera. Do this. Hold on. I'm going to have Pollyanna touch my hand and make a chain. All right. All right. Now I've touched her hand, and it's moving even more because she's added strength to my hand. Yeah. See how weak it get when she let go? And there you go. It's strong again. Because magnets stack strength. And that is a living magnet chain. Polly and I are touching hands at the point that you watch the water jump stronger. I don't know what else you want, but I'm giving you visual, and you can do this yourself. Do it yourself. I've shown you how to do this. In this video, Polly let me borrow her fucking webcam, so are you ready to see it clearly? You can see it clearly.